everyone, once again, this is the Professor. Okay, I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to be doing today. This is an unscripted response to someone who requested a video. Chenana4ever came to my channel and requested me to do a commentary on one of her videos. And it was the video titled, Who Needs Logic? Longest Commentary Ever, which was a 49-minute video. Now, Chenana, like I told you, I'm not doing a commentary, which is apparent by me sitting in front of a camera instead of using Dr. Stein right now. I'm not doing the commentary because it was a 49-minute video. Because when I was done with my commentary, it would have ended up being at least an hour and a half long. And that's really, really, really long for a commentary, especially with the attention span of the normal American anymore nowadays. We don't have the attention span to sit through something that long really anymore unless it's downright freaking entertaining. And I don't know if I would be able to come up with enough funny jokes to keep something entertaining for an hour and a half. Now, yes, I could have cut out the video parts that weren't you and just kept your stuff, but even then it would still have been excessively long. But for anyone who does not know, I will give you the backstory to the video she wanted me to do. Chenana4ever's, and yes, we all should know who this guy is, and I could care less about the guy. I don't like him, I don't like his videos, and I think he's an idiot. Chenana4ever's made a video ranting about Sonic pairings, Sonic fan pairings. And Chenana decided to do a response video to it, a commentary to it. And when I first sat down to watch this, because I had never watched this particular commentary before having done this video. One of the reasons was because it said 49 minutes, and I'm like, I don't want to sit through 49 minutes of commentary. I don't know what is going to be in here. I don't want to. I never did. And when I finally started watching it to do this particular video response, my initial reaction was, oh my God. I'm going to sit through 49 minutes of people bickering back and forth about fan pairings and Sonic the Hedgehog. I could not believe that's what this particular video was about. But I tightened up my belt, put on my safety harness and my cup, girded myself strong, grabbed my sword and shield, and yeah, I waded through that video. And now I'm going to make my video response with the issues that I happen to see in the commentary. Now, before I begin, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. Chenana, I have no issue with you whatsoever. I have talked to you on Skype before. I think you're a pretty cool cat. Get along with you just fine. The times I have talked to you, I have spoke with you. So I have no issue with you whatsoever. Now, in this particular video, this response, I'm not going to be peaches and cream. I'm not going to be rainbows and horsies everywhere. It's not going to be a little pony where I'm going to love and tolerate the crap out of you. That's not my style. I'm going to be honest. Brutally honest. Which, in my own opinion, is the best form of constructive criticism. I hate that phrase. So, this isn't going to be the nicest video in the world. Because I'm going to point them out, and it's going to be with the exact same mentality I had when I thought up the points while watching your video. So, let's dive right into my thoughts behind your commentary and what I've noticed. And the first thing that I noticed within the first few minutes after we got past your excessively long introduction to the video where you talked, you gave messages to like 5 or 6, or no, not maybe 5 or 6, but maybe like 3 people. I know at least one of them was Joshua and the other one was Chief Shadow. You give them each a message at the beginning of it saying, we need to either record this video again, or we need to do this, or hey guys, we need to do this. Take that shit offline. Don't do that at the beginning of a commentary. This is not a time to give out personal messages to a bunch of people saying, hey, we need to plan this video. Yeah, I got a commentary I'm going to do, but first, let me spend 15 minutes to let all of my buddies know that this is what we're going to do next. Take it offline. Get on Skype, talk to them then. Very simple. We don't, at least I don't want to sit through that kind of thing in a commentary. But within the first point you made against Chenana4ever's, I noticed one glaring issue. You spent at least 3 minutes ranting near the middle of your commentary back at this guy. I don't see a commentary as rant time. Rant time is when you make a rant. Commentary is when you see a flaw, you point it out quickly, you say, here's where you screwed up, you giant friggin' moron. You're an idiot. You point out the error, you show them, hey, this is how it really is, you dumbass, and you're done. You move on. You could have taken those 3 minutes that you used to rant at them for your point and condensed it within just like 30 seconds. You could have. And one of the reasons you could have condensed these down into like 30-second points is because in each of your points, you repeated yourself. Multiple times. You said the exact same phrases within each of your points. And there are two in particular I want to point out. One of them was, this is a fan pairing. And fan pairings don't need logic. Darling, let me just say this real quick. Fan pairings need a sense of logic behind them. Maybe not logic within the original conception and the games or the original story arcs. Maybe they don't need logic within that, but they need a logic behind them where the person who made the pairing can explain why they did this. One of the examples, and I can actually take this from you because you stated it, was Duke Devlin and I believe Shadow the Hedgehog. Why the hell would you take Duke Devlin and put him with Shadow the Hedgehog? You're taking Yu-Gi-Oh franchise and Sonic franchise, putting them together and making these two butt buddies. Why would anyone do this? First off, two different series. You're combining universes here. Whoa! Freak out! But it doesn't work to me. I don't see a logical sense behind this. And when I say logic, and it needs a logical sense, imagine you walk up to someone and you say, hey, why did you put these two people together? I don't know. I don't know. I was bored. So I said, yeah, I'm just going to put these two together real quick in a nice little fan fiction or in a video and be like, hey guys, these two are a couple now. There's no reason behind it. They don't really like each other or anything like that. Or, you know, I got bored. Would you really accept something like that? There's no logic behind it. There needs to be a sense of logic. And I will say behind most of these fan pairings, there usually is. They got a reasoning behind it. Either they came up with a storyline behind it and they put them together. But there are times, and this is one of my issues with shipping stuff, and one of my issues with a lot of fanfic writers, is that they don't have logic behind it. And I honestly believe there needs to be logic behind everything. And that could tie back into my profession, which is I went to school for computer programming. I know all this wonderful stuff about C++, C#, Visual Basic, so on, JavaScript, blah, 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 blah. And my mind runs a constant logical mess. All day long. Everything has to fall into logic for me because of how I've trained myself to think doing programming. The next thing is, you constantly repeated another phrase. That's their opinion. You need to accept their opinion. Here is my giant issue with you saying this. Every time you pointed out that this is someone's opinion, and you need to respect their opinion, Chenana4ever's, you didn't realize what you were doing. By saying he needs to respect their opinion, you were devaluing his opinion. You weren't accepting his, which in turn makes you into a hypocrite. Do you see this? And yes, I understand there was a lot of stuff that he said that wasn't really logical, didn't really make much sense. He kind of needed to be slapped for. We'll get into that later. But you were ignoring his opinion. Every time you said this, and you pointed out once, I'm trying to accept his opinion, despite the fact in the entirety of this video, all 49 minutes of it, I'm going to say how his opinion is wrong and our opinion is right, and he needs to respect our opinion. That's why I hate the opinion card. That's just your opinion, or that's just their opinion. I hate the opinion card. People, stop using the opinion card, especially in commentaries. It's an invalid point, okay? I understand people have opinions. We all have opinions. They're like assholes. We all have one. They all smell like shit. They're there. Get past it. If their opinion is stupid, then go against their opinion. Point out the flaws. But even in some of the things that Chenana4ever's said that you told him, you need to respect our opinion, he had logic behind it. And he made some decent points despite himself. And you attacked them because they didn't agree with your opinion. That's why you were attacking him in this. And throughout the video, it seemed to me like you were, for lack of a better term, a little bit of a butthurt Sonic fan because he didn't like how you guys were pairing the characters together. And it didn't go along with your opinion and your viewpoint on the whole situation and how you think the Sonic fan pairing should go. But moving past this point, another giant blaring issue, and when I wrote this note down, I wrote it in capital letters, put 3 exclamation points, and underlined it twice. And this point was, script your damn video. And this ties back into why your video was 50 minutes long, why you were ranting in the middle of your points, why you kept repeating yourself, and why you fumbled around all the time was the lack of scripting. I could tell you didn't use a script, and if you did, feel free to correct me. And if you didn't, we got other things to talk about. But it didn't seem like you scripted your video. There are people out there who can do things without scripting. And there's 2 ways to get around to doing this. One is a natural ability to do things unscripted. And the other is training yourself to do so. I myself, and this isn't trying to pat myself on the back, I have a lot of experience doing public speaking during presentations at work and working on stage at like an anime convention. And I've been through classes for presentation skills. That's why I've been able to train myself to get the thoughts to flow and actually do something unscripted. Because I've trained myself to do so. And what I noticed here is, and I'm not trying to be mean in saying this, you didn't seem like you had the ability to do this unscripted because you got lost, because you started rambling and you started going off topic and you just kept moving and going and going and going. And I understand, you need to explain your points and you need to have evidence behind them, but sometimes you can give too much explanation. And you did. When you started not only contesting the fan pairing that he would mention, but then you would give him 7 other examples of why these pairings would work. That's too much explanation. You didn't need to go that far into trying to denounce his point. You didn't need to. And the next 2 issues that I had with your video are some of the biggest ones I noticed. Because the previous ones, they filtered throughout the entirety of the video from minute 1 all the way through minute 49. Those original issues that I've covered have filtered through the entire video. And were the original reasons why I'm sitting here going, I get through this, you can get through this, you can do it, you can make it, you can finish the damn video. But these 2 points in particular that I want to cover now just really made me go, Chenana, what the hell is wrong with you? Why did you do this? And in one of them, I literally had to stop the video, take off my headphones, and I laughed in front of everyone on my lunch break at work. Because that's when I was watching this. I watched it during my lunch break on my phone, you know, just to get through it and get my original viewing out. Because I watch a video at least once or twice before making a video on it because I want to make sure I have my points down. And the first time I watched it was at work during my lunch break. And I literally broke out into laughter on one of them. And it wasn't laughter at something being hilarious, it was a laughter out of denial that you did something. The first issue that I had was, oh good grief, you defended the pairings between people like Sonic the Hedgehog or Knuckles the Echidna or Shadow the Hedgehog with Cream the Rabbit or Rouge the Bat with Tails. You defended this. And your defense was things like, oh, well, Sonic is 15, and Shadow, he has the physical appearance of being 15, and Knuckles is this age, and Rouge is only 17. There's still an issue here, Chenana. And the issue is, you've got Sonic the Hedgehog, who is a 15-year-old character by what you said your research was. I don't know what age he is, because I didn't ever care. But you said he was 15, and you're pairing him with an 8-year-old. No, actually, Cream is 6. You're pairing a 15-year-old with a 6-year-old. And by my standards, there's something wrong with this. let me just put it like this. I have a daughter. And when she reaches the age of 6, and if I had some snot-nosed little brat come to my door, be like, hey dude, I totally want to take your daughter out on a date. You know, I want to date your daughter. I would go, okay, fantastic. How old are you? 8, 9? What are you, in elementary school? Are you in the same class as her? No, man, I'm 15. I'm like, excuse me, you little punk. Hell no, get the fuck off my doorstep. You are not taking my 6-year-old daughter out. You're 15, she's 6. Many reasons behind this. She doesn't have the mentality to conceive the thoughts behind a romantic relationship, love, actual compassion between two people who aren't, say, her parents. Because at that age, they understand compassion between a parent and a child. And they have the thoughts behind it due to the Disney movies and things like that about the whole relationship between them and their prince. But they don't understand the full intricacies behind a relationship like this, especially the physical connection. And when I say that, you know what I mean. The bow chicka wow wow boom boom ha ha. They don't understand that. And if something like that happened to a 6-year-old, let me say this, they would be scarred for life. A 6-year-old is not ready, doesn't have the mentality to handle something like this. Not even an 8-year-old, say Miles, Tails paired with Rouge the Bat. They wouldn't be able to, they couldn't conceive this. They couldn't let this process in their mind into a sense that would not scar them mentally. It's wrong on many, many, many levels. And there is no defense behind people pairing someone like Sonic at the age of 15 with someone like Cream the Rabbit at the age of 6, or Rouge at 17 to Tails with 8. There is no defense behind something like this being done. I don't care what your points are. There's no defense behind that. And yes, as weird as it is, it kind of irks me a little bit extra because I do have children. I do have a son and a daughter. And if they reach that age and someone tried something like that, I would sock them right in the mouth. Because I understand this. And that it doesn't work for a child that age. And yes, I know this is giving a real world mentality behind the logic of doing something like this. And when I look at it from a real world mentality and real world logic, no. Sick and wrong. I'm sorry. I understand it's a fan pairing. And it's a fan thing. It's all fictional. Oh, there's a reason I don't watch anime or hentai that involves people sleeping with children. There's a reason I don't. Because I don't care if it's animated. I don't care if it's fantasy. It's still wrong in my mind. And it should be wrong in other people's minds too. Because it is borderline pedophilia. It really is. That is borderline pedophilia. I don't care if they haven't reached that age of 18. They're still well within their teens. Getting a hell of a lot closer to 18 than they are to their age. And even at that, they should have the mentality of, dude, this is an 8-year-old. Why the hell would I want to be with an 8-year-old? And the next point, and this is the point that made me laugh in front of everyone at work. And mind you, not out of humor. Out of sheer disbelief and shock and awe at what you were defending. Chenana4ever's, another good point he brought up was a fanfic that he knew about where someone paired Amy to Shadow. At least that's who I believe the pairing was Amy to Shadow. Which is all well and good. Hey, if you want to make a pairing between Amy and Shadow, that's great. You know, you write your storyline. Yeah, she's all addicted and obsessed with Sonic, blah, blah, blah. Shadow comes in, does something miraculous, sweeps her off her feet. She falls head over heels for Shadow the Hedgehog and goes after him. Woohoo! Happy day, happy day! All well and good. That's fantastic. But there was an issue with this particular fanfic that he described, and you defended it by saying this is what the fan wanted in their fan fiction and their pairing. This is what they wanted and how they wanted to go about it, so we should accept it. With open arms, just accept it as it is. That's how they wanted it. It's cool. What he described as how the fanfic worked was Amy was with Sonic. Until one day, Sonic, I guess, apparently decided to get drunk, went up to Amy, said, okay, you stupid bitch. Yeah, you like that? Yeah, you like that? Yeah. Do you think I like doing this to you? oh, I don't like doing it, but I'm going to keep doing it until you get tired of being with me. Make sure you got 2 black eyes and a bloody nose. Make sure that I try to make sure you can't walk. Yeah, the description was, he beat her. He beat the living shit out of her or something like that to where she went to Shadow. That's how they came up with the logic of why she ended up with Shadow. They couldn't have just come up with a nice little storyline that said, oh, he swept her off her feet. No, Sonic had to beat her for it. Sonic had to beat the shit out of her. And that right there, you defended it by saying, oh, well, that's what the fanfic writer wanted. That's what the fan wanted to see. That's how they liked it. That's wonderful. That's fine and dandy. Not that that shows they have an underlying desire in their mind to beat whatever woman they're with, because that's how they think women should be. Or that he just hopes that the woman he gets connected to one of these days comes from an abusive relationship where her previous lover, her previous partner had beat her so badly that she just got turned off to the taste of him, and oh, he just swept in one day to save the day, and they fell head over heels because the previous guy beat her. Either way you go about it, that is a mentality that is in this guy's mind. If they put it to paper, the reason they put it to paper, the reason they had this thought is because it's in their head. This is something that they kind of have a desire for. This is something that interests them. Physical abuse on women is something that interests them. Now, tack it to how I was raised, or however I was raised, that you don't hit a woman, regardless of situation. You don't do that. That's just a sense of chivalry and sense of being a man. You don't hit a woman. That's how I was raised, and that is my mentality. I swear to God, if I walk down the street and I see a guy hit a woman, I don't give a shit who they are. I'm going to walk over and hit him right back and say, how do you like it, you little fucker? How do you like it? You don't do that. I don't care what it is. And the worst thing is, they got it even in, from what my understanding was in their fanfic, it was the normal storyline behind Amy Rose is all obsessed with Sonic. Which means, not only did he beat her and hurt her physically, she had the obsession with Sonic. And he just beat her to the point where it broke her emotionally and mentally. Which means not only is she scarred physically, she's scarred mentally and emotionally. For the rest of her life. I could care less if she ends up with Shadow the Hedgehog and he's the greatest guy in the world. He's so sweet and caressing and loving to her. Throughout her life, she would still have the whole fear behind that, oh God, this guy's going to beat me too. Oh jeez. But it's such a beautiful, loving story. Because it had a happy ending. She ended up with Shadow and they were happy forever. Regardless of the first 15 minutes where you got to see Sonic beat the shit out of her. There is no defense behind something like that. Physical abuse upon a person, especially a loved one, there is no defense for. There isn't. There's really not. And like I said, it shocked and awed me that you would actually defend this. Especially as one of the female gender. You would defend someone who had a fanfic where the male character beat his partner, his girlfriend, his wife, whatever you want to call her in that fanfic. Probably girlfriend, I don't care. But you, as a woman, defended physical abuse on another girl, another woman. Regardless of whether it's fictional. No. Just no. And we'll move past that and go to my final few points. My final thing that I actually really wanted to cover, and this is kind of to get a little bit more of a little bit of levity after that part, because that was a very dark turn for this video, wasn't it? I'm sorry about that. So I left this last part for a little bit of levity, because I can make a few jokes during this one. You were talking throughout the video about this is what the fans want, this is how the fans are, this is what they want to see. You talked as if you were the queen of the Sonic fan base, the queen of the Sonic recolors, the queen of the fanfic writers of Sonic, the Sonic pairs. You were like, oh, this is what they want, and I speak for every last one of them. Hi, Blackbuster critic! Are you going to talk for the entire gaming community too? Are you going to come out and say, Capcom, we're pissed off with you because of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Mega Man Legends 3 because I'm the Blackbuster critic and I speak for the gaming community in total because I'm amazing that way. They'll just accept it because I'm the Blackbuster critic. That's kind of the same mentality. You were speaking for the entire fan base? No, you weren't, because To an extent, I'm part of that fan base. I enjoy some of the Sonic games. There's a lot I don't like. There's some I haven't played because I could have cared less about. I don't care about the storyline. When I play a Sonic game, I just want to enjoy the gameplay. That's why I play them. You don't speak for the whole fan base. Don't go that route. You saw how Blockbuster Critic was all popular until he came out and started screaming and yelling at the camera and threw his wallet at us. And now he's throwing tampons at people. It might be a good thing that he's going back into basic training, apparently, because maybe then someone will beat some sense into him during the time he's there. Although that's doubtful with his arrogance as he's shown himself to be. But then again, how arrogant can you be when you call yourself the professor? How pompous are you, you dumbass? But you don't speak for the whole community of fans, for the Sonic fan base. Don't let yourself think this. I am sorry, but you don't. So, yeah, the entire video just seemed like there were two morons bashing their head against a steel-plated door to see who could get through it first. That's what it seemed like to me. Because you were both bashing your head against a wall you were never going to get through. You were making a argument video about Sonic fan pairings, which to me seems like something kind of unnecessary. But then again, I made a commentary about someone who is making points on anime and why they don't like it. So, we all make stupid decisions. We all do. Hell, I made that one-shot commentary on the Dormammu. I made a one-shot on Dormammu's trolling video about Slap Happy Gamer coming back to the community. I've made my mistakes. I've been a dumbass in the past. I've made really, oh good lord, my original commentaries, honestly to an extent, I'm happy I lost my channel because those are gone. They're vapors. They're gone. Nobody has a copy of them that I know of. They were really crap. I have made crappy commentaries. I've made crappy videos. We all do. But that's where we gotta learn. We grow. Watch other people. Get the advice. Reach out to others and say, hey, dude, how can I change this? Or have Loud and Styles come back and call you a C+ commentator. You bastard. How dare you? But yeah, ask for the advice. What you did this. And honestly, I had to ask a real simple question. Really simple question, because it really shocks and amazes me that someone actually came to me for advice on this, and that some people have actually asked me how to do this, or actually has asked advice from me, because I really don't think I'm that great or that intelligent to actually be the kind of person you want to ask advice from, especially while being a C+ commentator. Mind you guys, that's a joke, okay? I play that off as a joke now. But I had to ask, was I a last resort? Did you go to other people and they didn't say, and then you're like, oh, well, this guy's here and he does commentaries, maybe he'll do it. Was I a last resort? I really have to know. But, but like I said, those were the points that I saw in there. And please, 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 don't get angry. It's for everyone who wants to know and says, hey, give me constructive criticism, that's what it is. If you want to know what constructive criticism is, it's pointing out flaws. That's what it is. It's regardless of whether you're all nice and happy and rainbows about it, or if you're a little bit blunt and an ass. It doesn't matter. It's still criticism, and it's constructive, because people can learn from it. And that's what I did here. As much as I hate the phrase constructive criticism, that's what this video is chock full of. It's got lots of it. And no, I don't put it over in the nicest demeanor. I'm not all sweet and everything, saying, oh, but it's okay, you'll learn, you'll learn. I'm a little bit more blunt. I'm sorry. And if that offended you, I apologize. I'm sorry. But you came to me, you asked for a response, and I'm giving you one now. So take from this what you will. And I've watched a few of your other videos, and you have improved over time. You have. You're getting a lot better at what you do on the commentaries. You're getting better at it. You've still got room to grow, much like every last one of us. We have all got room to grow. I've got things I need to fix still. I've got things I need to improve upon and do better at. We all have that. We all have issues within our videos. We're going to from now until forever. No one's perfect, and no one ever will be. If you go off and you say that there is a perfect commentator, there's no perfect commentators out there. They don't make perfect videos. They're not the greatest commentator in the world. So we all have our issues. We've all made mistakes. We just got to learn from them. We grow, we adapt, and we change. So I hope this helps you. I hope everyone who's watching this kind of enjoys it at least. And there you go. My response to you. My wonderful unscripted response to Chenana4ever on her commentary that she requested. It's not a commentary, but it is a response, and I pointed out the flaws that I had and or saw in the video. My issues I had with it. And it took less time. So, this is the professor, everyone. I will see you ladies and gents on a later date. And oh yeah, if you noticed, from the last time I actually made a video in front of the camera, I grew out my hair. What do you think? Looks decent. I think it does, at least. But nonetheless, adieu.